Obviously, at least the frame was replaced. You can see here sticker with even with the price $27.95. The thing that kind of was baffling me a little bit about the this whole setup is the hinge, which upon further inspection you can see where it runs through. There's a metal rod. It's almost like a piano hinge. And I thought, well, how the heck do you get that out? And of course, when you look here in the corner, you can see the rod actually, what it actually comes out right there. So what I'm going to do is grab a pair of pliers just to start getting this thing ready for restoration. So first, this battery compartment door is just dangling here and it's being held by this strap. I guess this is made out of MDF. What in the world? This is all aftermarket, of course, but wow, interesting. And this part here is missing. There's a little, like a little cage that goes over this, and I know I saw it somewhere, and I'm gonna have to go look for it because it was just inside the storage compartment, and it's secured by a little screw. So I have to look for that one. Otherwise, this will just come out of there. Yep, there it is. So yeah, I need to find that little cage, and yeah, this was a pretty crappy job they did at installing the new frames, which of course at some point they just kind of broke apart. So all of that is going to have to be corrected. Other than that, should be fine. Okay, so I removed 3 tiny little screws. I'm going to get something a little better from the hardware store. So now I was able to remove the this replacement lid. So again, it's going to have to be installed properly. And now I already tried once to remove this this hinge, but not having much luck with that. Let's try vice grip, see if I can get this at least somewhat out of there. And I don't want to break this frame assembly, of course. It moved about a quarter of an inch. There we go. Holy smokes. Whew. Holy crap. Okay. So yeah, so this is going to hopefully allow me to install this properly and get it looking right. I may try to crazy glue this thing together just to make that crack invisible. These damn little tiny little screws might as well not even be in here because they're literally doing nothing to secure the this thing. I mean, I guess MDF is good for some cheap furniture, but in this case, and I know there's only so many things that you can expect when you're buying replacement parts. But what happens is MDF is basically cardboard that has been compressed together, glued, and all that is quite strong. It is kind of heavy. But what happens is, I don't know if you can see there, start splitting. So you put in a screw. And so the best solution, if you're going to do this, I'm going to drill new holes, but I'm going to pre-drill, because the moment you start introducing anything like no matter how small it is, a screw, and you just want to push it in and get it started, you're going to start pushing the fibers apart, and that defeats the whole purpose. So you want to pre-drill. I've been filing these areas here so they can make good contact once I start putting this thing back together. But as you can see there, I think you can. There are indications that someone went in here with some adhesive, some glue of some sort, made a mess of things, smeared the stuff all over the place, and failed to achieve anything. So, of course, then you have to go over it and try to remove excess glue so everything will sit properly against the other portion of the frame, and kind of be all even and look nice. But yeah, never fails. People try to fix things and they make matters worse. So in order to get this somewhat repaired, what you're going to have to do, and you don't have to, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to use some of the wood glue. Get it to go in there. Kind of force it in there. And then get a clamp. And when you clamp this thing, it'll flatten this area. You can see some of the squeeze out there. And that is going to help, hopefully, to secure this and make those fibers one piece again. Check this one out. This thing is a train wreck. Let me see if I can get as much glue in there as possible. Jeez. I'll put some back here, even though the frame is gonna help all of that, but wow, try to let it go in there. A lot of it is gonna squeeze out because that is the nature of the beast. And I'll show you the finished product once the glue has cured. You don't have to remove all the squeeze out if you don't want to. You can go back later when it's fully cured with a blade and remove the excess. I think this makes my life easier when I do it while it's still running like that. Okay, so the first step to reassemble these frames in order to make them really tight and look good and prevent future breaks and stuff like that, it's going to be to secure them firmly to the door. And in order to do that, I'm going to use just these regular clamps and make sure that they're really tight against the door perimeter. And I'm just testing here to see if this is gonna work properly. And I think it will. And I chose wood screws because this is MDF, and I think these are gonna grab on really good against the MDF. And if you compare this screw to the ones they used before, well, the difference is obvious. And these, maybe they work great for plastic. They're not going to do the trick for MDF, considering they have to go through the the frame first and then bite into the wood with about 2 to 3 threads, that is not going to do the trick. These, I'm sure they will. And eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the heads black just to make sure that they're almost invisible. And the same approach is going to apply to this part of the frame. Make sure that everything is tight against the door. But before I do that, and again, this is just a test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the frame and I'm going to clean the carpet real good. I have this Chemical Guys fabric clean and upholstery cleaner. So I already have a mix. I think this ratio calls for like 10 to 1 or something like that, water to 1 part of the cleaner. So I think I have about that or a little more. And then when that is done and dry, I'm going to start putting it together. And all I'm using is soft plastic bristle brush. And this is the first portion of the cleaning. What I mean by that is you're going to really give it maybe a couple of sprays with the upholstery cleaner. This is not super filthy, but dirt has a tendency to work itself into the fabric, so might as well do it now because once the frame is in place, I don't want to be doing this for fear of damaging something. Okay, so that part is done. Now what I'm going to do is, you can use a microfiber towel or just paper towel. All you want to do really is have it absorb most of the product just to dry it a little bit. And then I'm going to go over it with the shop vac to remove some of the cleaner, the liquid, and then allow it to see, this is pretty damp now, and that's what you want. And all of this really agitates the dirt, and then it makes it a lot easier to vacuum this. So the first thing is going to be to position this frame in the right spot. I think these clamps are going to help achieve that. You want to be snug against the MDF, the lid itself. And of course, I still need to allow for some, give myself some room so I can actually drill and do what needs to be done here. So, yeah, this is pretty tight here, and I can tell by looking at the original hole they had on it is butted right against the edge of the lid. So I think this is a good start. Will be my starting point. I have. I'll just go with a 1/16. So my plan calls for drilling this, one of the holes, and then what I'm going to use is this countersinking tool. I think this will make the perfect, and I can control this. Just give it a couple of turns and see how that works. Did I mention trial and error? It's a lot of that. Much tighter fit. Just have to be careful with this MDF. I don't like that. Okay, so now this is trimmed to size. Okay guys, so here's the finished door. I still have to do the bigger door. But anyway, I wanted to show you the end result of all the work that I've been doing. Honestly, I'm not 100% happy with the results. And the reason being is because, again, I am trying to use what they had, which is a couple of pieces of MDF, kind of trimmed somewhat to match the shape of the frame. There are a few areas that I'm going to have to touch up. That is not a big deal, but I don't know. I'm not happy with this. The alternative to buy good used parts is just way too expensive. So I had a compromise, and I hate doing that. I ended up spraying, masking everything and spraying the plastic with a combination of truck bed liner because it gives you that camera case finish, and some black paint. So in that regard, it looks fine, and that helped me conceal some of these screws and the holes that I had to patch. Again, not a perfect solution, but it will have to do. Same thing here for both sides. The back here, I left the screws natural. I mean, there's no need to paint them because they're never going to be seen. So again, if you have to do something like this, I would really honestly stay away from this MDF solution. It is not a solution really. For example, here, this wouldn't fit right, so it kept sticking up. I had to drill and put a little screw there, and I concealed that to the best of my ability, but it's still, I know it's there, and it looks bad. I know that. So hopefully the doors will work properly. I'm still having my doubts about that. I'm hopeful, but I'm being realistic that these may not latch properly. I don't know yet, but we will cross that bridge once we get to it. So in the meantime, this is what this door at least looks like. The other one, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't look the same. It's just a bigger door, but the the final result is going to be once everything is reinstalled in the car. So for the time being, this will do it for this part of the project, and we will finalize this saga once everything gets reinstalled, and whether it looks okay or not, it will be determined at that point. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.